Hello everybody, it's ScareRookie checking in and kind of giving you an update on the prop builds that I'm working on. I've got a couple things going on. Of course, you know the Grim Reaper I'm still working on. I've still got to pick up some spray and bed liner to finish that out. I've been working on a spell book, Necrokamaka book. That's pretty much finished. I just got to add a hard coat to it. So now we're moving on to our cemetery. This year, I'm actually going to move my yard haunt to our park. We have a community park where we do our Halloween registration. We have over 2,000 kids plus parents that come trick-or-treating our neighborhood at night, and we do a registration. That's 2 weeks before Halloween. So I'm going to set up my yard haunt for that. And so we're going to be building a cemetery wall from scratch. It'll be roughly 25 feet long. It's going to have two big columns in the front and a gate. And then it's going to have about 7-foot sections basically on each side with wrought iron poles coming up and a stone wall base. I got these columns that you're looking at right here. Actually was donated to me from a neighbor who was really big into Halloween. She made these columns. I didn't use them last year. Didn't really have a need for them yet. But I figured we're going to build this big cemetery wall, so I want really cool, large columns in the middle. So this is one of the columns she gave me. They're about 8 feet long, about 14 inches wide, 11 inches on the side. And they have this kind of funky wallpaper on them. So what I did is I took the wallpaper off, and I just wanted to show you what I'm doing now. So this is the columns with the wallpaper off. And as you can see, I've kind of started to put together the brick inlay on the columns. You can see on the side here. So those of you who are wondering how this is done, there's tons of videos out there on these things, so it's not too hard to find. But basically, I took my foam sculpture kit. You don't have to have one, but it makes it a lot easier. And measured about a 1/2 inch deep, cut a section out here. And then I took a little template, a brick template. I just used an old piece of sandpaper, measured out a brick, and I would just lay it on the cutout section, trace around it, you know, staggering the bricks so they look somewhat properly put in there. And then cut out the grout lines with a razor and also with my foam sculpture kit. You know, some broken bricks and stuff. You don't want it to look perfect. And then after I kind of got everything cut out the way I wanted it and all the grout lines in there, I came in with a heat gun and just kind of run the heat gun across the top, and it just smoothed out a lot of the rough edges. You know, still have lots of marks and cuts and scrapes into the bricks, which will give them more of a realistic look. But it just kind of smoothed out the grout lines. And then added some texture, as you can see, to the wall itself. So moving closer to the point where I'm ready to paint, I added a base. Still got to add a couple more stacks on the base there to make it look a little bit more realistic. It's a little, and then, you know, obviously rough that up and age it as well. But that's a pretty decent transformation from, you know, this, just a straight column with some wallpaper on it, to this. And what's really cool is these columns do have caps that slide right on top. And I also have a couple of really cool old looking gargoyles that'll go on top of those. And then of course, between the two columns, once they're established here, we'll have a nice wrought iron gate fence made out of PVC for the haunt. So that's what I'm working on now. What I will do is I will make a video here once I start to paint and kind of give you an idea of how I detail it and how I paint it. And then we'll go from there. So this is ScareRookie signing off, and you guys keep haunting.